everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Baseball HQ. I'm your host, Dakota Moyer. We're here with Landon Morgan. He's a new guest on the podcast. Yankees fan. Enjoyed talking to him throughout the postseason as the Yankees tried to get past the Blue Jays, but eventually couldn't get past there. Um, don't forget to subscribe, leave us a comment. We're on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcast, and Substack. I just put out some posts on Substack and go over and read those. Before we get started, how's it going, Landon?
It's going good. Going good. I'm happy to be on here. First podcast. Never done something like this. So excited to see the ropes and talk good about the Yankees, man. I'm excited.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely going to be fun. If any of you saw last week's episode, we talked about a bunch of the free agent news. Um, a lot of new people signing and stuff, such as like Emilio Pagan, Devin Williams, but it's practically going to be the same exact thing today, except a lot more of it and with another person involved. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And first up, it's a big one. Kyle Schwarber is back with the Phillies on a 5-year, $150 million deal. And I don't think anybody was really not expecting this. I don't think anyone expected him to sign with the Mets or the Red Sox. If anything, he was going to sign with the Red Sox afterwards,
Yeah.
in my opinion. But Phillies really, no one ever really doubted, and they've got their 56 homer DH back.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he wants to stay there, one, because he likes his teammates, and I think he wants to win. He wants to win one there in Philadelphia. Obviously, he got a good contract, but I think he's enjoying the chemistry there with Harper and that big two punch that they got going there.
Yeah, and personally, for a Nationals fan, it's kind of upsetting to see Turner, Harper, and Schwarber on the same team.
Yeah, that's tough.
I mean, can't always get them all. There was actually a theory out there that Schwarber might sign with the Nationals again,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool, but no, it wasn't going to happen. But he is back there in Philadelphia for 5 years, $150 million contract, which more than likely will probably eat up the rest of his MLB career. Maybe, maybe not, but we'll see what goes on there. Next one, and I think this one might have been probably the biggest news of this week and this past and this offseason really is Pete Alonso signing a 5-year deal going from New York to Baltimore. What a culture change. Like
Yeah. Yeah, that's
he that
crazy.
that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, and, one person I feel bad for, thinking about this deal is Soto, honestly, especially, them giving up their closer, Diaz well, which we'll get into later, but Soto, I feel like, is gonna feel like he's been stranded. They had that promise of going there and winning a ton, but they lost their prized first baseman, and then one of the best closers in baseball, in my opinion. So, I feel bad for Soto, but especially talking about him going to the Orioles, that culture change is gonna be huge, and then I think he's gonna be good for the Orioles as well, having another good bat.
Yeah, and Alonso's only like 29 or 30, so he's still got a long career ahead of him, and he's already established himself as one of the best hitters and the best defenders in the game, really. And that Baltimore lineup's really gonna take a boost up. But really, the Mets aren't doing so hot in this offseason. They're getting a lot of pushback. Mets fans are not happy, including because they're really in this win now mode. 2 years ago, they made it to the playoffs, got to the NLCS against the Dodgers, just weren't able to push it again. And then this year, woo,
Yeah,
whatever happened? You sign Juan Soto, the best hitter in baseball, best pure hitter in baseball, to a 15-year, $750 million deal, and you can't make the playoffs in his first year,
yeah,
especially when the team you're competing with for the third wild card spot loses on the last day of the season, and you get shut out by the Marlins of all people.
yeah,
But really, things are really compiling here on the Mets, and we're going to get into a little bit of that later on, talking about other players. But people are not happy with Steve Cohen and David Stearns right now.
yeah, I wouldn't be either. That's why I'm a Yankees fan.
I will admit, a Subway Series would be pretty cool
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
in a World Series. I look forward to that when that happens. Speaking of which, Edwin Diaz, probably top 3 closer in baseball. Easy top 5, maybe top 3. But just absolute nasty stuff. Finished this year with a sub-2 ERA, but unfortunately, New York wasn't cutting it, so he decided to sign 3 years with the Los Angeles Dodgers, which honestly, if you can say that the Dodgers have a weakness, it's their bullpen, and they just strengthened that really, really good. So now they've got a bullpen that has Tanner Scott in it as well as Edwin Diaz to set up a really good 8 and 9. Again, as we were saying, things not going well for Mets.
No, no, and I think that move by the Dodgers is gonna solidify their three-peat. I mean, people were talking about it before they got Diaz. As soon as they won the World Series, people had those talks, of course, just because of, the excitement. But I think now it's a real possibility that we'll see that, historic dynasty. I think it's just starting. They got a ton of young, flashy players. Obviously, Ohtani's one of them. And them getting Diaz to strengthen that bullpen, Yamamoto as well. I think it's going to be unstoppable.
Yeah. I mean, go back and listen to other episodes if you want to hear my opinion on the Dodgers. Well, I won't take it time to go into that right now. Don't want to get into that. But really there's no sense in really trying to prove yourself. You've already established yourself as probably the next dynasty in baseball and the best team in baseball. Really, it's kind of overkill, but you can see where the Dodgers are coming from locking up their new closer for the next 3 years on a $69 million deal.
But yeah, for
But here was another one that really shocked me. Former Padres closer Robert Suarez signed a 3-year deal with the Atlanta Braves. So his intention is probably to be the setup man for the Braves' Raisel Iglesias, which honestly, if I was the Braves manager, I'd probably switch that.
yeah.
Suarez is younger than Iglesias, but I guess Iglesias is a little more proven. But just based on the stuff, I'd probably move Suarez to the ninth inning. But that's
Yeah,
me playing.
yeah, I could see that. I honestly think you could go either way. Both those guys are good stuff. I think because he's new to the culture, new to the team, I could see him in the setup and kinda let him get comfortable with those guys and then with those coaches, and then as he settles in, move him to the ninth.
Yeah, you definitely can't say that Atlanta is not trying. They've got one of the best young cores in baseball. They probably could be the next dynasty after the Dodgers with Acuna, Olson, Riley, Albies. They just got to find themselves a good shortstop. They've got a young pitching rotation, which really is set up for the future. There's no stopping that rotation later on with Chris Sale, Spencer Schwellenbach, AJ Smith-Shawver, Hurston Waldrop, Grant Holmes. There's just endless amount of possibility there. That Braves team's gonna be unstoppable, and, they just added to it with adding Robert Sw.
Yeah, very true.
This news just came out very recently, and I have to say it was another shock to me. Jorge Polanco, the Mariners' NLDS probably savior, who walked it off in that epic 15-inning game that I, thankfully was able to stay up and watch. But that hero is now a New York Met. So I guess Mets fans, I mean, don't be too hard on David Stearns. I
Yeah,
mean, sure
but
you just lost rookie of the year first baseman, all-star slugger, all-star closer,
right.
but you can't say that they're trying. They now have an infield of Polanco, Semien, Lindor, and probably, if I had to guess, Brett Beatty, unless they sign someone like Eugenio Suarez or someone over at third base. But even if they lose Alonso and Diaz,
Yeah, yeah, but I just don't know. I would've tried to keep your 2 guys, Alonso and Diaz. Now, I don't know what their
I
salary
mean,
cap looked like.
100%, you're gonna
Yeah.
try and keep those guys either way.
Yeah, I don't know what the cap looked like then or if it was a money problem, but definitely Polanco is not replacing that in my opinion, unless he has a ridiculous year, which
Yeah, he had a pretty solid season for the Mariners this year. I don't have the stats pulled up right in front of me, but signed, I think, a 1-year deal this past offseason just to get with the team. And he got with the Mariners, ended up doing really well for them, took them, almost helped take them to their first World Series appearance.
yeah.
They're still looking for that first World Series appearance, but unfortunately now they'll have to do without Jorge Polanco. However, I did see something that said that Jorge Polanco, they're planning on using it. The Mets are planning on using him as first base and DH. Here's the thing: Jorge Polanco has played one career game at first base in his 12-year career. So I don't
Yeah,
know how that's gonna work. Maybe he can learn how to do it. That's kind of what the Nationals had to shuffle together
yeah,
this year when they lost Nathaniel Lowe. You go from Pete Alonso to a guy who's played one career game at first base. So,
yeah. That'll for sure be an adjustment, but it can be done. It can be done.
and there are still a lot of other good first basemen on the market. There's Alonso is definitely not the only perfect and good guy that you could sign.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it sucks that you lost him, but you've got Luis Arias out there. You've got Ryan O'Hearn, Josh Bell. Like, okay, that's if you can't get anybody else.
Yeah.
But there's still good first base options for New York to go out and sign. This news also just broke recently. The Major League leading saves holders, Kenley Jansen, he's been around for a long time. Angels, Dodgers. Yikes, I don't even know all the teams that he's played for. Maybe you could help with that. I don't know.
I I honestly don't know.
Yeah, but he's been around for a long time. He's 38 and he has 476 career saves. So he's moving up there, but he has signed a 1-year deal with the Detroit Tigers. I saw something that said maybe AJ Hinch, the Tigers manager, will stick to one guy for
Mm.
his closer. This year, he was shuffling between
Yeah.
a bunch of people. Will Vest eventually settled in there, became the closer, but he was shuffling between Tommy Kahnle, Will Vest, Kyle Finnegan. But no matter what Hinch does with the Tigers bullpen, this is definitely a really good signing to add a veteran in.
Yeah, for sure, and I think having Jansen, in a way, opens up those other guys to be better setup men. I think about Tommy Kahnle, obviously Yankee. Last year, he was in the World Series, and he did fantastic, but that's when he was in the setup role. He was able to throw that changeup. That's all he threw, really. I think he'll thrive there if they move him down there. And then, it'll allow Skubal, obviously, the best pitcher in the league right now, get him some more wins, have some more solid guys close out the night for sure.
Yeah, and Jansen, even if he's not used in the ninth, you can throw him in there when you've got like runners on the corners, no outs, or bases loaded, 2 outs. You can throw him in there anytime you need him, and he'll more than likely get the job done. He only had one blown save in 2025, and that was against the Nationals. But 29 saves, only one blown save, so that's a pretty good record for a guy who's 37 and also had a sub-3 ERA. So for a guy who's 38, that's um
It's
that's a
crazy.
pretty good, track record to have, and now he's gonna bring that to Detroit. The submarine pitcher, Tyler Rogers,
Yeah.
he has signed a 3-year deal with the Toronto Blue Jays for
That's him.
$37 million for 3 years, and honestly, I don't think the Blue Jays have even started yet. I mean, they've added Dylan Cease, they've added Cody Ponce, they've added Tyler Rogers. They're not done, and I don't think they're close to being done.
Yeah, no, no, the Rodgers move was good. Having him kinda strengthen that lineup up or that pitching rotation, I mean, they're gonna be deadly.
Yeah, and Tyler
Now
Rogers, after getting traded, I think it was from crap, who did he get traded?
uh,
He went to the Mets. Did he come from the Giants, or was that Taylor Rogers?
I don't know. I think it was the Giants, actually. I think you're right on that. Here,
Yeah, I got
let's see.
pull it I got it
Tyler
pulled up right here.
Rogers.
It was a
Mets.
Giant, it was the Giants.
Giants, Mets, yeah.
Then who did Taylor Taylor was with the Reds, that's right.
Oh, okay.
Twins, Padres, Reds, Cubs, yeah. I knew one of them was on
Yeah.
the Giants, but,
Yeah.
but anyway, Rogers got traded over from the Giants to the Mets and was fantastic for New York. Like, he only allowed 1 home run, but it didn't even go over the fence. That's how good it was. It was just an inside the park home run that got away from Cedric Mullins, also against the Nationals. But, I gotta drop in my Nationals bits 'cause I don't have much to be proud of, so I
Yeah,
have to drop
yeah,
I have to
I can't blame you.
I have to drop it in wherever I can.
Yeah.
But Tyler Rogers, a very good addition to this Toronto bullpen that is already jam packed with great talent. Jeff Hoffman, Cody Ponce, if you need him to take a break from the rotation, put him in the bullpen. Sir Anthony Dominguez, I think, is coming back. Showed a lot of promise this year after getting traded. But yeah, just a really good addition for Toronto's bullpen. They're going to be well set for the next couple years
Yeah,
after being inches away from a World Series victory.
you see a lot of pitching strength with that team right now. That's what they're focusing on. Definitely with that Dylan Cease, them acquiring him as well. That's definitely a focus for them because their offense is good. We saw that in the World Series. Definitely.
Yeah. I do think that their offense could use one or two more big bats in there just to add just a little more stability because really your big man is Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Right.
That
Yeah.
that is your core building block. That's what you're building everything around of. You've got Alejandro Kirk, a power hitting all-star catcher who he's not leaving anytime soon. Andres Jimenez, that's kind of the in between. Good defense, not enough offense. Maybe the middle infield is where you want to switch things up, especially if Bo Bichette doesn't re-sign. Ernie Clement, great contact hitting ability, also not the best option at third base. Outfield, George Springer, absolutely one of my favorite players in baseball. I
Yeah.
love George Springer. But that outfield's pretty good. They need Santander to come back, be the power hitter they were expecting him to be. Addison Barger's in there for the long run now, I think. Really, your big guys are Guerrero and Springer. You don't have a lot of flashy names, which you don't really need a bunch of flashy names. Just look at the Milwaukee Brewers. They've maybe got 2, 3 flashy names in their lineup, and they're a 98 win team. But but I do think that one or two more big bats in that Toronto lineup would definitely make them a bigger threat.
I could see that, but once you have too many power hitters, you can fall into the trap. Honestly, what happened to the Yankees is you have no contact hitters. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of these single shot homers, which are great, but if you're not driving anybody in and you're not getting guys across home plate, you're not going to win ball games.
Then maybe not like a big bat, but just like a middle of the order solid. Maybe he'll give you 20, 30 homers a year. Kyle Tucker's a name they've been throwing out there. I've heard a bunch of different things on the Blue Jays, but yeah, I think just one or two more bats. And I think this Toronto Blue Jays lineup is set, and they are definitely a favorite to win this World Series. Kind of got off topic there, but especially with the addition of Tyler Rogers.
Yeah.
A bunch of smaller deals, not as well known. Lane Thomas signed a 1-year deal with the Kansas City Royals. Danny Jansen, former Blue Jays catcher, Rays catcher, Brewers catcher, signed a 2-year deal with the Rangers. Mark Leiter Jr., former Yankee, signed a 1-year deal with the Oakland Athletics. Dustin May, former Dodger and Red Sox, signed a 1-year deal with the Cardinals. Tyler Alexander, 1-year deal with the Rangers. Ahmed Rosario signed back with the Yankees on a 1-year deal. Probably the biggest two. One was big. One kind of sparked something in me. But the bigger one was Mike Yastrzemski, outfielder, longtime outfielder for the San Francisco Giants. Got traded to the Kansas City Royals this year on the last year of his deal. Did pretty well for KC. Proved to be a pretty good bat at the top of the lineup. But he has signed a 2-year deal with the Atlanta Braves for $23 million deal, which I don't know what Atlanta needs with this many outfielders,
Right.
but I guess options or trade options, I guess.
Yeah, I see it more as a business move, like you said, for trade capital. Maybe they want to strengthen some other area in their lineup. They're going to use him as collateral for that. That's what I think.
Yeah, because you've got Jurickson Profar, Michael Harris, Ronald Acuña Jr., Eli White. I think that's a big reason of why they got rid of Jared Kelnick,
Yeah,
Stuart Fairchild, like
right.
a bunch of these guys, Jake Fraley, a bunch of these guys that they had, they didn't really need them because they've got an all-star outfield.
Yeah,
But Yastrzemski, a good addition there. Again, probably used as a little bit of leverage on other teams. You've got that control and that pretty good contact and defense.
right.
Pretty good signing for Atlanta. But here's the one that I saw, and I was like, oh my gosh, I completely forgot about this guy. And that's surprising because 2 or 3 years ago, he was one of the top closers in baseball, Alexis Diaz.
Yeah.
Alexis Diaz, closer for the Cincinnati Reds, has completely fallen off the map. I mean, last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, he was putting sub 2 ERA. He was absolutely killing it for the Reds. You couldn't ask anything from him. But this past year, oh my gosh, things were very bad for him. Got released by the Cincinnati Reds,
Yeah.
picked up by the Braves. Things didn't go well there.
Yeah.
So he got picked up by the Dod actually, I think it was the other way around.
No, it
Dodgers
was
picked
Braves Dodgers.
Braves, Dodgers. Braves picked him up, didn't go very well. Dodgers picked him up, also didn't go very well. But now he's signed a 1-year deal with the Texas Rangers, and it's reminded me, where the heck did this guy go?
Yeah.
He he has completely fallen off the MLB map.
Yeah. It's crazy to think how your career can kinda spiral down like that. I mean, let's look at what he did with the Braves. I have it pulled up right now. The Braves, he had a 10 ERA, then the Dodgers, he had a 5, then the Reds, he had a 12. That's ridiculous compared to his 2022 Red stats, where he had a 1.84 ERA. That's insane. That's a different player.
Yeah. Like, that's almost as bad as the Devin Williams coming
Yeah.
over from the Brewers to the Yankees. I mean,
Yeah, yeah. I know. But
the airbender was not bending the air.
no,
It was
it was
not
bending the air. About
it was bending
450
the air,
feet.
but it was bending the air right over the middle of the plate
Yeah,
and
yeah.
getting absolutely I will admit he was better down the stretch,
Yeah, he got to get in his groove,
but
so
I think David Bednar is definitely your long-term option. But, one more, topic, the Kansas City Royals, they've been busy. They added more outfield depth with a trade with the Milwaukee Brewers. One of the top 5 in Rookie of the Year voting, Isaac Collins with the Brewers, along with relief pitcher Nick Mears, having traded to the Kansas City Royals for left-handed pitcher Angel Zerpa. Which, I mean, okay. Um, this deal is whatever.
yeah,
Angel Zerpa, like, okay, he's okay.
yeah,
He's a guy that you can throw in there. He might have a mid 3, high 4s or mid 3, high low 4s ERA. He's got a pretty good fastball, but like there's nothing
there's nothing
extreme
super special.
there's not something extremely good about this guy. He's
Yeah,
not an Edwin Diaz.
no.
He's not a Kenley Jansen. He he's just there.
Yeah,
Really really this deal is for the Brewers to get a relief pitcher and the Royals to get some outfield depth. That's
yeah,
really Isaac Collins, one of the runners up in the Rookie of the Year, is really the crown jewel of this trade. This is all for the Royals to start their rebuild, and it's starting out pretty well. But I mean, okay, Angel Zerpa, whatever, Nick Mears, whatever. But Isaac Collins now with a different team, trying to continue what he did with the Brewers.
right. That's right.
Yeah. So that was a whole lot of free
Yeah,
agent news. And I think last week or 2 weeks ago, I complained about this offseason being slow. It is definitely not that way anymore, even
no.
though I've still got a full list of free agents that are still to be signed. Still waiting for the Nationals to do something. I mean, it's going to be taken slow with the new front office, and
Yeah,
really it's just about rebuild. But anyway, that's the major free agent news. Thank you, Landon, for coming on. It's been a
sure.
real fun time. Everyone, don't forget to check us out: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Like, leave us a comment, give us your thoughts, share this podcast with baseball people that you know. We'd love to draw interest. Everyone, thank you for watching Baseball HQ. It's a beautiful day for a ball game.